Hey YouTube, this is Lego Sith Empire, and today I have finished my first custom vehicle mock, and it's the Ebon Hawk. If you guys haven't watched my previous videos, and here it is. This was designed by Boyzs, Custom Designs. He's made a couple of vehicles, and Ebon Hawk is one of them. Um, Honestly, I think it's the best Ebon Hawk there. I don't know what else to say. Um, but yeah, this is my review. I finally finished it. It took a week to finish. Of course, the last couple of months I've been getting ready for this, been buying the parts. That's why it's kind of taking so long to make a video. It took a week to build, but it probably took me about 3 months to get all the parts because I first went for my collection. Probably got about half the parts out of my collection, and then the other half I bought. And honestly, it was well worth it. I always said this is definitely the best. It's one of the biggest versions of this mock. It's not the biggest. I did find one that was bigger, but it's not as good looking. And this is probably not only the best looking version of this set. It's definitely probably 10 times better than a lot of the smaller versions also. So this is gonna be a review. So we're gonna get into it. I said it took me a week, and I'm gonna get to the pros and cons of this set. But first, let's give it a look over first. Here, look at it. For those who don't know, this ship's from the Knights of the Old Republic game. It's Revan's ship. You get to use it in both Knights of the Republic 1 and 2. Very awesome ship. You got the sides here. It does have a full interior, but it does not have the side rooms that would be in here, like in the game, which is fine. If it had those, it'd also be a lot bigger, but that's fine. You got the turrets on the side. You got the turrets on top, and they all move. Of course, this one can go up and down. It's a little stiff though, and I just broke it, I think, but it can go up and down. It's a little stiff though, it's just because of the parts I used. This can turn. Both sides can. And there is a ramp right here. It's kind of hard to open from the outside. I'll see if I can pull it. Probably not. Just got to open it from the inside. Let's push it down. Which actually was kind of surprised. The ramp is actually very good. Like, it's minifigure scale, so like a minifigure can easily walk inside, which is insane. So I actually really like building the ramp area. I really like it. And one thing I did find very enjoyable was actually putting a lot of these plates down, which was kind of, I don't know, something satisfying about it. But very cool. Let's go give you a side view of this thing's very huge. Ignore the Rebel Army in the back. Kind of sneakily preview. Here's the back side. Here's the back engines of this thing. One thing I kind of find was this was actually very interesting how to build. Learned some pretty good techniques for why building this, which was insane. There's a lot of awesome detail. There's some detailing right here. Obviously, there's some kind of details here, and a lot of details there and here. Both sides are actually pretty different, which is actually kind of cool, which I think I like. More details right here. But yeah, honestly, from just looking at it, it's very awesome to look at, very appealing. A great looking set, honestly, in my opinion. Also, this is one of my favorite vehicles, so this is one reason how to build it. So I'm glad I got to build it. I'm going to get to the kind of the pros and cons of the outside. Which the pros, I said, I like how it looks. It looks very smooth, honestly, even though there's some studs showing. But I like the design of the cockpit. The cockpit is very nice. I actually enjoyed building this thing. It's very nice looking. Definitely one of my favorite parts of building was definitely the cockpit. Very enjoyable. I actually kind of also like building this turret. The turret was actually fun to build too. And then the cons of it, sadly, these are not, like kind of perfect. Like, you can see kind of there, and this doesn't go fully down. Same thing here, and you got gaps here. Sadly, it's not the most perfect thing ever, but why building, I can understand why it's like this. Obviously, if you probably had to build it bigger to make this all perfect. But how it's designed, how it's built, you know, of course, it's not going to go completely down. Same thing here. And obviously this is not going to go down, which kind of sucks, which is not a bad thing. And then another con is actually, because one thing I can't, it's hard to show you, but this have a full, like, bottom, like, the bottom's actually covered. Like, it's not bare like some, like, the Lego sets are. And, what, focus. Gotta focus? Focus. And one thing I had very, very difficult about building this is when I was building it, there'd be some parts of the instructions where you have to go back and forth of flipping the thing upside down. And there's some points where I understand why you have to wait so long to flip it, but there's some times where there's some things you have to do to the bottom that you can easily do in the beginning, and it's so frustrating when you have to flip the whole ship, because there's some parts that will fall off when you have to flip it, and it's also not, some parts is not very easy to grip when you're flipping it, and it's also hard to flip it. And so I would recommend to big boys to maybe do everything as much as possible in the beginning for the bottom, until you have to, like, till you have to get to the sides, because also some of these sides are attached to the bottom, so you have to, do some of that stuff later on. But that'd be my recommendation. And also, I don't know, that's about it. Another problem I had is definitely this. I think it's just maybe the parts, or maybe it's design. This thing is very easy to, like, knock off. Like, it's very frustrating, because if this falls off, you have to flip the whole thing to put it back together, and that can be very frustrating. So that's my only, like, cons of this from the outside. One thing I'm gonna get to is the parts. So, guys, this is all the parts that I have left over. And my first question was, did I miss up? How the hell do I have this many parts? Because I bought and got all the parts off, because it comes with instructions and it comes with the part list. And I got the exact same number of every part, maybe 1, 2 extras. And I have this much extra. And I'm like, how did I miss up? Like, if I have 2 of these, so I can understand, like, maybe get, extra of these in case they break or something. But, like, there's, like, some of these parts and other, like, smaller parts that have, like, a whole bunch of, like, these, like, grill parts. I'm like, how to have this many parts? So I don't know if Big Boys added the numbers higher for each part, just for, extras. Because there are some parts here I'm like, you don't need, like, that many extras of, like, some of these. I have a lot of these, and I'm like, I guess if I had 1 or 2 of these left, but I have, like, 8 of these left. I'm like, holy cow. So, a quick warning for anyone who wants to build these, you will have a whole bunch of extra somehow, which is not a bad thing. I can easily use a lot of these parts, like grill pieces, all these. One thing is, I actually have extra of these too, and it was actually kind of frustrating to get these, because no one had the exact same number I needed. So it's like, now knowing, like, I didn't need the exact numbers, kind of like, why? But, so that's a warning, guys, for anyone who goes buying this. You will probably have some extra ones, so be warned. I'll say, fortunately, I can use these, but I don't know how about everyone else. Actually, I do need that part. One thing I did find out, that when I was buying all these parts, I did get myself a Palpatine hologram, because I needed some of these parts, and I guess the guy I don't know if he didn't know, or he didn't add a description on Bricklink, but somehow I got 2 of these, and I'm like, well, I'm keeping these now. I was there to find some replacements, because I want to use these, not have it part of the ship, but I was kind of surprised how I got these as opposed to a plain one. So it's kind of a cool little bonus, I gotta say, from buying some extra ones. I'll say I got 2, so I'm definitely using these now for mocks for troopers. So that was one cool side thing to buy, having extra parts. But back to the ship. I'm gonna pause this, and we're gonna go and look in the inside of this thing. So I accidentally ended the video when I meant to pause it, but I actually decided I wanted to show you guys how the thing opens. I figured that'd be actually a good thing to show. So let's get into it. First thing, one of the things you gotta take off to move this is obviously you gotta move the turret. You gotta take the cockpit off, And here's the cockpit. Also, this is very fun to build. I actually love putting all these tiles on. Here's a side view of the cockpit. You got to take this off to get this off, but obviously you got to lift this up. Oop. Just like that. It opens pretty much like any other Lego Falcon. You also have to move the... Oop, I just broke that. Oops. But all of these, they would open up and these will lift. I think I pushed that way too far back. So I think that's what I broke. But it's easy to fix. But you got to move those to get these up. And then, of course, you can lift all these up like this. Like so. And the turn's in the way of that part. And I just broke that. I'm just breaking everything today for this mock. Just trying not to break any of these ones. And boom. Also, this is an easy fix, honestly. Like, fortunately, it's not like anything too important. And honestly, you can... Oop, that comes off too. That's supposed to come off. So I'm wanting that to come off anyways. But hey, excited to go with the whole thing. So let's get this. There we go. I'm not going to open this whole thing, but I will lift this hatch so you can see inside of the little area. So let's do this first, I guess. So here's the, the boarding ramp entrance. You get the entrance to the hallway. We got this area. And of course, you go walk down. You got your little minifigure just like, whee, slide down. And then here's how it looks when it's shut. You just, fold it, push it right up, and boom. And I actually kind of like this area too. I'll say it looks, I don't know, something about the tile is very nice. You can kind of look at it with how it's like that, and then of course you just shut that and boom. And yeah. So let's get right to the ship. I have actually a bunch of customs of the characters, and a lot of them fell over, so it's kind of, I'll fix them up. We'll go by room, and then I'll fix the figures. But first off, let's get in the cockpit. Of course, the custom figures I have in here was focus. There we go. We got Karth, we got Basila in here. Both are customs. We got them in the cockpit. Of course, the cockpit comes with 2 pilot chairs. You can see right there. Has a full console right there. And of course, you have the windows. You can see the characters in the windows, of course. Very nice. I actually enjoyed building this area too. It was very fun. Not much details in the walls, really. You got like some shelving right there. Part of me wonders if that was supposed to be the other way around, but we got some shelves right there. Pretty nice. All tiled and grilled, covered on the floor. There's very little studs showing on the floor, so very nice. And of course, you get the nice little hallway going here. We got the hall table. And then we got Darth Revan right here chilling right next to it. The hall table is not my favorite. Honestly, could do without the hall table. So, which is easy fix. You just pull it out, put some black tile right there, and be fine. But kind of cool they added that, since there is a hall table in the ship in the game. So very nice. Let's get into the next 2 rooms. We get in this room. Here's Bendo, the grumpy Jedi Knight in here. He's just, taking a shower, going to the bathroom, whatever, wash his hands. You got a sink, got a little shower. Got a toilet right there. Kind of crazy. Something, I honestly, when I first saw this, I'm like, there's a full-on bathroom in here. It's pretty cool. Got the entrance. Of course, the entrance is not quite minifigure height, but that's fine. It's not any taller. Obviously, be harder to close up. Pretty fine. Got some tubing on the walls. Got some more here. Very nice room, honestly. And of course, if you don't want a bathroom in here for some reason, this is just one piece, so you can just pull the walls, or just take everything out and make it some different kind of room. That's one nice thing I kind of noticed is, you have the ability to do that if you want to make it something else, if you don't want a bathroom. Next to it, we get the medical bay. Here's a top view. Of course, we got an opening back to tank, or I guess cultal tank. You get, fit a minifigure in there. Got some screens right there. We got a medical bed and another screen right there. Let's try to give you guys that view. There you go. Of course, the minifigure just, go in here and just lay down in the bed. Well, there's Revan hurt. After his fight with Malik, has to, rest up, get checked out, maybe going to Colto, has those scars on his face. Pretty cool room. Both of those rooms are also tiled off, of course. Very nice rooms. And then right next here, we got one of the bedrooms. We got Mission right here, maybe planning going to bed. Who knows? Kind of chilling there. We got some cool little bunk beds you can lay down. And one thing you can't do is, I noticed from right here, if you lay down a minifigure right here, you cannot close this. It's too much. So, if you want to put them to bed, you got to kind of put them in the second bunk. Got a door right here. A lot of these doors are not minifigure height, so be warned if that's something big deal for you. There you go. But it's not a big deal for me. And of course, you got these cool wall details throughout the ship. And I actually thought it was pretty cool and nice little technique there, honestly. So we got these walls all along the place. Some are different. We got those with blue. Most of them have gray. So there's pretty cool walls, honestly. One thing is, I'm going to show you. Let's flip it around. We'll see if you can see it. Right here, you got some panels, kind of codes, for safes, and you get shells. Both sides have it. So you guys see right here, and this is also the other bedroom with HK, the custom HK. So that's cool little detail right there. You guys see. And I guess here's a. Let's cover the camera. Here's a look into the landing ramp right there. You can see it. Kind of hard to see right there. Honestly, I would have to lift this up. It's all attached, so it's not made to come off. But yeah, here's another view of the bathroom and the medical bay. You can't see the entrance right there. We'll stick like this for now. We'll see. Right here, you get the lounge area, bar area. You got the little bar, which this is actually needs to be pulled back. You can fit a minifigure right there. You got your little fountains. You got drinks right here. You got chairs. You got your little gaming table and chair. One thing I noticed though, when you're shutting this panel right here, you do have to kind of move this. So I usually have to flip it, kind of something like this to make it shut, because this is, I guess, too tall, or at least these are too tall. So I guess you could just take those off. That's kind of a con. So you have take all these off and just chuck them to the side like that. But it's okay. I don't mind it. It's not like I'm going to have this open all the time. So, but yeah, that's pretty cool. You got that little entrance right here, minifigure walk, sit in the chairs, pretty cool. Right next to we got a nice detailed engine. We got or hybrid drive. I don't know if this is a hybrid drive of the engine itself, but pretty cool. A lot of detailing. Very fun to build. It's kind of. All right, sorry the video cut out, but I really like the whole table. I don't say there's something you can easily take out, but not a big fan of it, but not a big deal. Also, obviously, the height of everything. I would say, you would have to shut this to make, and of course, she's actually too tall to run herself. It stands up. There's a little gap right here. So, obviously, everything's a little, too tall or short, wherever you want to say it for this. But honestly, it's not a big deal for me. Obviously, if you want everything to fit, it would have to be bigger. So it's not that big of a deal. But for those who might be a big deal, just be warned about that. Things could be too tall, too short. Honestly, besides the cons, that's really all. That's about it. Building wise, I had fun building it. It was honestly very easy to read the instructions and build it. There was a lot of points of this ship. I would say mostly when I had to flip it, that a lot of things broke. So there was a lot of frustration. A lot of this would break off when I had to flip it over. Because this whole thing is attached to each other and to these. This is not attached to the floors. So if one of these because this is all connected. So this fell off, all these would fall off. If one of these fell off, these would fall off. It was very frustrating flipping this at times. So be warned about that. But other than that, it was totally worth it. And I'm going to pause this now. I'm going to pause this video to fix this and then shut everything, and then we will get into the final thoughts. Alright guys, I got this whole thing closed up, and final thoughts, honestly just repeating what I've said. Love building this thing, great design. Obviously it has a few problems. Money wise, to buy this, and so I'm going to get to the money. So money wise, The instructions cost about $30, I believe. I could be wrong. It's been a while. I actually bought my instructions like a year ago, so it's been a while. So it's about $30. Not bad, honestly. And then the parts wise, if you're gonna buy all the parts on BrickLink, they're gonna cost you about $1,000. And it's mostly because there's a few parts in here that are worth a lot of money, especially this part. So when you're building this for this is originally gonna say it's dark red, but if you get this part is really expensive because apparently it only comes in the Slave 1 UCS set, and there's like one, and I only found like 1 or 2 sellers in the US who sold it, but they sold like for like $10 to $20 each, and none of them had the right amount that I needed. I think you have to buy it from both of them to have the right amount. So you need like 12 of these, so you'd be spending like over $100 just on this part to get on dark red. So that's why I went with the gray. Obviously, it's not the right color, but there's plenty of gray in here, so I don't think it ruins it for me. And you need some of these anyways for this, because this is actually supposed to be gray. So that's, I guess another con right there. In Europe, they are a little bit cheaper in Europe, but obviously shipping makes it about the same. And I think there's about maybe 3 or 4 sellers in the UK Europe who sell these. And I only found them in Europe too, so there's no like Asia or Russia selling them. So it's going to cost you a lot of money to get these. And so that's why I went for the dark gray, because dark gray is pretty cheap to get. But for me, I'll say I got about half the parts out of my collection, so I probably spent like half of that much. So if you have that collection, you have the parts, I would definitely recommend going through that first to get the parts. Other than that, the price is not too bad, because I'm gonna say the biggest version I've seen I don't think it's as good as this would cost you about $2,000 to get, and then the next best version, I guess you could say, I have to actually get it in hand to tell you if it's the second best, but the second best I've seen would cost you about $700, but you would get the whole ship, like parts and all. So it would be cheap. So it's obviously cheaper, but it's smaller. And also you would get everything at one go instead of having to buy instructions and then all the parts and build yourself. You just get a whole a set like you would buy on the store. And so there's cheap options, but obviously if you want the biggest version, the best and biggest version out there, you would have to pay a little bit more. If you're fine with a smaller version, there is a $700 version. I would like to get it in hand one day to do a comparison between the two. But right now I'm not really want to spend that much money after building this. And for those who are wondering who has that version, it's Republic Bricks, or some people know as Timmy. He has his own Ebon Hawk, and I believe it is $700. And I like to get his version someday to do a comparison. Maybe he'll send it for free. Maybe, who knows? But so that's the price for it. One other thing I want to note, guys. One thing is, since I changed in dark this to gray, one thing I noticed is you can get this color in other colors too. You get tan and dark blue. So if you want to be creative, like if you really want to change it up, make your own different version of the Ebon Hawk, you can get these and you can make this like instead of red, you can make it like dark blue. You can make it tan if you really want to. So that's one thing I noticed is like, all these parts do come in other colors. Of course, I'm not sure about all these, so this might be a challenge here. But like a lot of these do come in other colors, so you can make this any other color Ebon Hawk if you wanted to. Just kind of something I want to throw out there, just for those who maybe like I know a lot of people make this in brown. Of course, I don't think you can get these in brown, but like if you're someone who wants it more brown, you can do that. If you want to make your own dark blue, go ahead. I just think this might be the problem you might run into. I think you can get these in white, though, so you can make it white and gray, of course. And if you really want to be crazy, you can change this to make a different color, too, if you really want to. You could, but just throwing that out there. Besides the price, and I said this again, this is a great set. Love it. It's been a dream set of mine. Wish Lego had made it. Maybe one day they'll make for an anniversary, who knows. But obviously it'll be a smaller version. It won't be as good as this. But yeah, I'm definitely getting this is set. Something I'm keeping too. I'm gonna keep this display. Obviously not gonna be in here because I have no room in here. But definitely keeping this set worth. Honestly, I think it was worth the money, worth the time, worth all the pain and heartache I had of flipping this thing up and side down, all that crazy stuff. But definitely worth it. I recommend it for anyone who's a big Old Republic fan like me, especially if you're willing to get the bigger version of this set. Um, I would say it's been a dream set of mine for a long time, so I definitely recommend it. And yeah, that's all I really got, guys. I don't really do review videos that much, so this is not the best review video out there. I'm sorry. I did my best. This is my honest opinion. I'm not getting paid for this or anything, so my honest opinion here. Great set, love it, enjoyed building it. Has its problems, but what set doesn't? But that's all I have for you guys. So please please share to anyone who likes Old Republic or who you think would like a set like this. Please comment down below what your favorite starship is. I say mine's Ebon Hawk is one of my favorites. It's hard for me to pick a number one, but if you have a number one, let me know. If you're ever getting this set, you're going to get a different Ebon Hawk, let me know down below too. It'd be kind of cool to see how many people are out there, trying to build this set or trying to get their hands on this set. So yeah, please please share, please comment down below. And if you guys haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. Very much appreciated. Next video is going to be my Rebel Army, which has been kind of put on a hold because of this set. So watch out for that for anyone who's interested in that. And then, of course, Old Republic Army is coming soon, guys. I did not forget about that. So, guys, may the Force be with you, and you have a great day.